Good evening, everyone, and welcome. And let us begin with a word of prayer. Heavenly Father, we give you thanks for this day, and we thank you for the opportunity to meet and discuss this important topic on allergies, asthma, sinuses, no more, because there are things that we can do, and we ask for your continued grace and lighten our minds, and may we always love to hear more from you. This is our prayer in Jesus' name, amen. All right, so today is a wonderful day, and I want to welcome you to Monday Night Live, and here you're able to learn quite a lot as we discuss matters on health. Always feel free to put your questions in the chat, or you can raise your hand, and we'll be happy to accommodate your questions. Usually we have questions towards the end, but if you put your questions in the chat, I'll be able to see them and address them as we go along. I'm talking to you from Pure Wellness Lifestyle Center, and we're all the way out in Trinidad and in the Caribbean. And so here is a place where you can come to and find restoration, help to restore your health and to be able to go back home and with a plan to put that into practice. And the experience here is quite rewarding because you will have us working with you doing different therapies to help you to achieve your goal. Now we have a session coming up in the month of February, and it's an 18-day session, or folks who want to do shorter, 11 days. And here you would come and learn. You know, there's nothing can beat back the participation and the experience and the camaraderie, the friends that you would make, and even the relief from your health issues, whatever it might be, for arthritis, autoimmune conditions, diabetes, cardiovascular issues, even cancer. And we're able to work with folks, work with you, show you how to prepare your meals, give you diet plans and other plans to go forward with. So I have a little movie. It's just a few minutes, but it tells us about William, and goes along with our topic of discussion today as we are looking at allergies. It's the third in our series on this particular topic, and we will, by God's grace, conclude today. And William, a young boy, but he is challenged with some health issues, and he and his mom they're going to share their experience with us. So I'm just gonna get this. All right, so now we reshare. There you go. All right, so here we have William's story. Okay. Okay, so I see.
I'm Stephanie Hume. I'm a stay-at-home mum. I'm to three lovely children, William, Alex and Lara. William is my eldest, and he was diagnosed with food allergies at the age of 3 after going into anaphylactic shock. He was then diagnosed with aero allergies at the age of 10, and that's also when we found out about the dust mite allergies.
Living with a house dust mite allergy means that some days I don't know what I'm going to feel like. Am I going to feel absolutely fine, or am I going to be coughing, spluttering?
At their worst, the house dust mite allergy would actually stop him from sleeping through the night. So he'd be extremely fatigued first thing in the morning and trying to get him through the day at school.
I wake up the next morning and when I actually manage to go to sleep, my eyes are just glued, they feel like they're glued together.
I started to suspect William might have a dust mite allergy because we had been to see the GP several times about him waking up through the night, coughing, a really runny nose, and sort of runny eyes. Every time we were sent away saying it was viral and that it would cure itself in a couple of weeks. But after it was going through months of this, and it didn't matter when the seasons were, it was just constant. We had a meeting with the allergy clinic and they did a skin prick test. And that's when he was diagnosed with allergies and dust mite allergy.
Normally in the summer months, we do PE on the field. The people just say it was hay field, not anything else. So I would be separated from the class because of my hay fever. It just made me not feel great about my allergies. And everyone just called it hay fever. I only had a few friends who actually stayed with me.
When we received the diagnosis for the house dust mite allergy, I'll be completely honest, it was overwhelming because the list of things that we had to do, we had to change our daily habits pretty much. It means that he used to have a zoo of soft toys on his bed. They had to go. We had to buy all new bedding for dust mite allergy bedding, friendly. A new Hoover that was able to pick up any bit of dust in his room. And it does mean that every week I'm cleaning his room probably 2 to 3 times a week just to keep it under control. We have seen an improvement in it, but it is a lot of work.
The treatment I received is cetrazone tablet, and I think I'm saying this right, metadefasine nasal spray, and they really help. They're amazing with how they help.
Thanks to the allergy clinic that we're part of, William was put forward for sublingual immunotherapy for several of his pollen allergies and dust mite. Now, this was because he is actually quite severe in terms of reaction to them. It does impact his daily life. So they put him forward for this project and he was given the access to it. It does mean it's an extra medication he has to take every night and there's strict rules to follow, but hopefully in 3 years' time, it'll reap the rewards of it.
It's hard to manage because I need to go to sleep at some point, and I need to have my dinner, which means I have to wait 10 extra minutes after my dinner, then take my slip, then wait another half an hour before I brush my teeth, then go to bed. So it's quite a busy schedule.
It's a scary thought that in the future, that's something that he's got to take on by himself. He's going to be alone dealing with that because as he grows up to be an adult and lives in his own place. I'm trying not to look at it in a negative way because we choose not to for Will's sake, but it is a hard issue to deal with and it's constantly on everyone's minds.
Okay. All right. So yeah, allergies, they are so real for a lot of folks, and they tend to be quite challenging, and there are steps that needs to be taken in order to regain that health. And so what we're looking at are what are the other steps? So some folks may resort to medication, but then there are other things that we can work on that may not cause us at some point not to require medication. And that would always be, the position where individuals would want to get to. And how could we even prevent? So dust mites was William's situation. And there are so many. We covered, that there are different types. There are food allergies and other types of situations that we looked at in the past weeks. So today we want to look at some lifestyle and some herbal agents and some items that we can do. Now, exercise is important. However, if individuals are allergic to their environment, you find that being outdoors can be a challenge. So just to walk and move helps to improve your blood circulation, your lymphatic circulation, helps to boost your immune system. But then to walk outdoors can be challenging because you're allergic to the pollen. and or to the grass, you know, or certain flowers and so forth. Times of the season, dust, you have the Sahara dust in the air. So this may be a challenge, but if it is not a challenge for you, then you find that you would do well to go outdoors and get your exercise in. Just to have for overall health, walking is and should be part of our daily routine. If it is that you cannot walk your feet, you can walk your arms. Yeah, you do have a right and a left arm, you can walk your arm. Move your limbs, whatever part of your body you have, just move them. And God is going to help you as you do those movements. He's going to help to improve your situation. Avoid stress, trust in the Lord. Allow sunlight and pure air to come into your home. And that air, again, is relevant depending on your particular situation. But there are little agents that you can get to purify the air, clean up the air in the home. All pets need to be removed from within the home. As you heard in William's story, that they had a lot of stuffed toys, and that had to be removed because those stuffed toys will harbor dust. Carpets, well, because of being in a European country, you found that carpets can be essential to the living space because it will help to keep the home warm. However, if you're in the Caribbean, you don't need the carpet. You can change that out for some other type of flooring. And so any animals, real animals, stuffed ones, they can pose a challenge. So wash your hands after being outdoors. Your hands can pick up so many things that you can bring allergens into your space, your living space. And another advice is to bathe or shower and change your clothing after being outdoors. Why? Because your clothing will pick up the pollen, in any grass spores. It can also pick up polluted items. If your environment is polluted, even a simple thing as the car exhaust, you find that your clothing will pick up those small particles. Pollution with combustion from factories and all of those things. If you look in certain countries like India, for example, in Delhi, that city, they have a lot of pollution, so much that they would shut down their activities at certain times when it's high. Out in China, you find these factories, they pollute the environment. And so individuals may wear a mask during that time, special masks to help to keep out those fine dust particles and those fine particles that are released into that pollution. So pay attention to that. If you find that you're prone to allergies and have allergic conditions, then all of these are areas that you need to watch out for. And once you spot what your allergen is, you'd be able to take better care. Now, there are wraparound glasses. There are glasses where it doesn't have a thin frame right up. It's sort of broad. And the intent there would be to protect your eyes from pollen. All right, so they're the frame is a little bit broad and wider and with a sheathing to protect your eyes. Wearing a hat can help to prevent pollen from collecting on your hair. So your hair being covered, you come home, you change your clothing and so forth, you keep your hair covered. And if your hair had any allergen, that can fall onto your face and on your eyes and cause you to have itchy eyes, runny eyes. Beware of the pollen count during your susceptible months. So they are there. If you're susceptible, gotta watch and take the caution. On human, On windy days, non-rainy days, pollen counts tend to be higher as compared to early morning or early evening when the wind isn't blowing, they are lower. So the time you go outdoors can make a difference for you if you're allergic to pollen. Now keep the doors and the windows shut in, and that will be quite necessary because you can't have it all coming in. Got to mow the lawn, during your susceptible months. Avoid mowing, especially if you're prone to those grass spores, and even pollen. Little flowers growing in the lawn area by you. And choose low pollen days for gardening. If you do go outdoors, or move away from the home if somebody has to cut the grass. Another important point for a lifestyle is to introduce proper rest. Now, it has been shown that individuals who have a tendency of going to sleep after 10 p.m. nightly will have a greater tendency to develop allergic reactions. Yeah, and a lot of times I'd see folks with allergies, and you could, couple that with the late nights, folks studying through the night, watching TV, doing housework, through the night, they tend to have allergic situations going on. So getting to sleep earlier would do better. You find that cortisol levels are released when you're up late at night, and that helps, contributes to the inflammation, more inflammation in the body, and then you're susceptible to these conditions. So you want to make sure you get your 7 to 8 hours of rest. Increase water intake. Drink water until your urine is pale yellow to clear. That's an indicator that you're drinking adequate amounts of water. As you perspire, as you urinate, for your daily activities, you're using up water sources in your body, and it must not be replaced by juice or sodas. It needs to be replaced by water. Your brain doesn't run on soda. Your brain runs on water. So we need a water in, and it helps to remove toxins from our body, a buildup of, certain hormones, negative hormones, or a buildup of toxins in our system to keep our body clear, our immune system, not to have to fight off other types of infections, and to keep you clear. And you find that your blood, as it begins to circulate because of more water in your system, that can reach other parts of your body and just strengthen you overall. Water tends to ensure that your eyes and your mouth remains moist as they need to be, and therefore it'll allow, if your eyes is moist, it can spill out any kind of dirt, dust, pollen. Have you ever had, like, walked into a space and was all dusty? You'd find your eyes blinking, and soon enough it can come to the corner of your eyes. Sometimes a little dot of a fly may get into your eyes, and oh, you will water. If you don't drink enough water, you would not have so much tears, But that water, the lubrication, would just send the little dot of the fly out to the corner of your eye, and you'd be able to bring it out. So similarly, with all of these exposures in our environment, water comes in quite helpful. Water also helps to improve our digestive system. And as you drink, water comes part of the whole mix for producing hydrochloric acid in your stomach, within your stomach. So if we don't have sufficient water in our bloodstream, the body is going to be challenged because so many functions around our system requires water. All right, so let's make sure that we do that. Once you have good digestion, it can help you to maintain a strong immune system. When your immune system is strong, you're able to fight off some of these conditions. Now, our vitamin D is important. Individuals who are vitamin D deficient tend to have an increased risk of having allergic reactions. So you could walk into a space and your skin starts to itch you. But because vitamin D deficiency would lower your immune system as well. So your body isn't robust and strong enough to attack whatever dust might have gotten onto you. Someone else can walk into that same space and not have the itchy nose, running eyes, sneezing, or itchy skin. They're fine. So we need to improve our sunlight exposure and help our bodies to make vitamin D. What time is that? It's between the hours of 9 a.m. and 3 p.m. when the sunlight is high enough to help us to make vitamin D. And if you're not in a situation where you're getting adequate sunlight to make vitamin D, we will need to supplement. And so a good range can be anywhere like 5,000 international units to 10,000 as a starter to help us with improving our vitamin D. So sunlight, usually part of life. Get out there, spend 30 minutes every day, 45 minutes. The darker we are, the more sunlight exposure we need because of the melanin tends to act as a natural sunscreen protector. And so we need to get out there, more exposure to the sunlight. Okay, so let's look at some herbal treatments, remedies that we could engage in. Now, get a garlic capsule. All right, this is one Galanese, but a garlic capsule. Garlic tends to help improve our immune system, and it also helps to reduce some of these allergic conditions. So using garlic tablets with our meals for breakfast, for lunch, can go a long way. You can use the cloves of the garlic, and in this way, you can steam it, not too long, just like a little 5 minutes of steaming it, just to break that sharp, sting that comes with it. But 2 cloves, 2 times a day may be sufficient, or so you test yourself and see what's adequate. 2 cloves a day only, or if you have to do 2 cloves twice a day. In chronic conditions, you may need to do like 4 cloves of garlic twice daily. If you're on blood thinning medication, be careful with the amount of garlic that you use, because garlic will lower your blood pressure. It can also thin your blood, and you don't want your blood to be overly thin, especially you're thinning your blood with garlic intake therapeutically, and then you have garlic, you have a blood thinner going on. That's not going to be good. Your blood can be too thin. So if you got a cut, you can bleed out. So let's always watch that. But generally, garlic is a phenomenal food that can be helpful to us. You could do a cleanse. Now, a nice one could be like Cascara Sagrada. Cascara Sagrada, I would tell you, is a laxative, but it also helps to tone your abdominal walls and the walls of your colon. It tones it. And so Cascara Sagrada is something that you would not have to use for a very long time, and it's quite healing to your digestive tract, and especially the colon, so that you can go on your own, and your colon is going to be stimulated to be regular, to regulate and adjust for your bowel movement. So if you find that you have some difficulty with bowel movements, then Cascara Sagrada will be great to start off with, and till your body starts to function well on its own. Now, see, why do we want our bowels to move? Is because all of these allergens, they're not just on the surface of us, they're getting into our system, and we need to flush it out. So I'm going to give you some juices to help to flush those things out by our diet and eating a good healthy diet. for foods that you could tolerate, because you find that individuals, they have allergies. They may have food allergies. They may have environmental allergies, but whatever foods that they can eat and tolerate, they would be able to, to get that out to eat it. But then you are going to have bulk to remove any spores or pollen that you inhaled. It gets into our bloodstream, it gets into our lymphatic system, and it can move. So having good bowel movement is important here. Now castor oil. Castor oil works, right? Castor oil moves things. And if you had 3 tablespoons of castor oil and 1/4 cup of lemon juice, you mix that together and you drink it. This is Granny recipes now. You can drink it and it's going to help to move you. Now, not everyone would like the taste of castor oil. And of course, it needs to be an organic castor oil that's hexane free before you ingest any castor oil, okay? Because it has a toxic compound in it. That's why it's going to move you. And you want to do this at least every month, just to get a clean out. And of course, you'll be running to the bathroom, so make sure you're free within the 24-hour period. But drinking water, drink lots of water whenever you take a laxative, because as you get that purge movement, it's going to remove water from your system. So you need to rehydrate. Right, good point. Thank you, Sister Princess, for contributing. That if you're pregnant, definitely do not use laxatives when pregnant, because your whole lower region is just thinking of excreting, right? Expelling substances. So no laxatives when you are pregnant. Can this cleanse be used for a 12-year-old child? You can. A 12-year-old child is pretty robust, except if the 12-year-old child was skinny, thin, then, go mild. The cascara could work. And then there are like psyllium husk that you can mix with apple juice, the pure apple juice, and that can help the child to be regular. So, and of course, if you do have psyllium husk, it's fiber. So you definitely need to be drinking water to help to move the bulk along. All right. Anytime you have an increase in fiber, make sure you're drinking lots more water. Another nice item to use for excreting mucus to help to regulate your colon for movement, to move, any cold from the head, from the brain area, down the back of your throat, off your chest. Lemon is something that can work well. So lemon, drinking 16 ounces, which is like to 32 ounces, 2 to 4 cups of lemon water in the morning, and let that be warm to hot water in the morning. And when you are drinking your lemon juice, you always need what? What do you need when you're drinking your lemon? Anyone? Put in the chat. What do you need? Drink that lemon with?
A straw.
Ah, great. Thank you. That's right. So you use a straw to protect the enamel of your teeth. And therefore, you as you drink that, it's going to get to the back of your throat because you use a straw. Now, this lemon increases vitamin C. It cleanses the liver, and any detoxification program, cleansing the liver is important. So whatever you use should be able to support that. And it can be used daily. You could take breaks if you wanted to. Lemon tends, because it increases your urine output, it tends to dry you up, so keep hydrated again. But then individuals who want to lose weight, lemon can also burn some fat, right? So you'd be happy, but those who don't want to, You just drink your plain warm water and it could be helpful still. So, yeah. Now, as you saw in the picture here, I just put a lemon in one glass, and you can use like 1 tablespoon to 2 tablespoons, depending on how sour it is for you. But 1 glass, you get up in the morning, you go mix your water, you get it nice and hot. You drink this first glass, it goes down your chest. You could feel the warmth, it's traveling down your chest. Water can move fast and gets down into your system. Now, the next glass, you can put the lemon water in there and the lemon juice, sorry, in that water. Stir it around and you drink. And then you can follow on with another glass of that hot water and more. When you do this, you're gonna get your bowels. The heat is going to expand your colon. The water is going to help to bring everything down. You're going to drink it as a bolus. Drink as much as you can. Pause, relax, go sit down, read your Bible, walk around, drink again. If you drank this, it's going to give you a nice bowel movement early in the morning. You've got so much out and keep you good. Once you clear your bowels, you have energy for the day, okay? That's one little tip of a point that can cause people to be fatigued, filled bowels, backed up bowels. Now, healing and sealing your gut and getting into gut health is an entire topic on its own, and one day we will get into that topic. However, utilizing items that can help to improve our gut health, such as a probiotic. So we have this one here called BioCult, or we have another item, PB8 or probiotic 10. You look around to see what you have in your area. And in your health shop, maybe in certain pharmacies, you may have these. Get a good probiotic. Probiotics help to improve your good beneficial gut bacteria and therefore make you more robust to fight off these allergens that come to you. And with a good immune system, you would see that what would have affected you a year ago because your immune system was low may not affect you today because your immune system is in a better place. Now, another item to add to your intake will be plant enzymes. This is a brand name, Trienza, or there are others. You have plant enzymes by Now, NOW, the Now brand. Or if you had bromelain, that can also be helpful. Some folks have bromelain quercetin. That may be helpful to some. And so those are enzymes that helps to break down the allergens even in your food and help you not to have an allergic response. So and again, if you know your food allergens, try not to have them, but that's another item that can help you. Another one is betaine HCl. So BETAINE, betaine HCl, and that helps to provide gastric juices, stomach acid. Stomach acid can get rid of certain bugs that comes in when you eat food, as well as to reduce some of those bad or pathogenic bacteria in your gut. So another one to add to this list will be betaine HCl, and you use them, okay? And you would find it would improve your immune system and you would do phenomenally great. Okay, Eye Bright. Eye Bright is not only for the eyes only, but it helps with other respiratory issues, such as sneezing and mucus buildup, excess mucus. So Eye Bright will help you to reduce and ease congestion in all your nasal passageways and to increase and reduce the secretions, but help to move things out. If you have an itchy eyes, sneezing, it helps with that. You want to make a tea from the eyebright, 1 teaspoon to 1 cup of hot water, and you simply steep that and you can drink it. You can also strain it carefully, not to have any particles in there, and you can let it settle and then just scoop off the top water and wash your eyes with it. It can help to ease the eyes. Another item, let's see. Another item that I would use to wash the eyes will be activated charcoal. A pinch of charcoal in some water, let it settle, the dust settle at the base, and then you gently raise that to the eye. An eye cup would be good, and you gently raise that to the eye, and that charcoal can help to ease the itching eye almost instantaneously. Charcoal has a 1-minute absorption rate. And so charcoal can help to ease that itching and irritation. Sometimes your eyes are red. You take a charcoal as a wash and it will help to clear it up, just like clear it up and make it clear again. And so charcoal can be quite helpful there. Another item is turmeric. Turmeric turmeric powder can be used for eye washing. Simple dust of the turmeric, put into some water, stir it around, let the dust of the turmeric settle, and then you can hold that up to your eye. Now, there are some folks who have a dust allergy at times, and I've found and seen it also with a lowered immune system. So years ago, I was doing a lot of things, studying, working, doing health work and ministry and so forth, really busy. And my immune system was reduced, it lowered. And what happened is that I got a stye. You know what is a stye? S-T-Y-E. It's when you get a little bump under your eyelid or on your top eyelid, but a little bump on your eyelid. And it begins with a bump that hurts. It's painful as you press and touch it. And before you know it, it makes a little head and there's a swelling. So I got that, and it can be hard, you know. And I was like, wow, what to do? And I wasn't sure what to do. And so the doctor said, just put like a warm cloth over it, a warm rag, and it would help to cause that little bump to burst. You know, it would make a head and it would burst out the inflammation on the inside like pus, and it would come out and you'll be okay. But that did not work. And so it stayed there. A month came by and it was there and it was hardened now. And I went to an eye specialist, and the eye specialist said, we will need to gash it. I said, okay. And because it's so hard, it's not softening up and to burst so on its own. So we'll have to put a little prick and burst it and squeeze out the content. And he did that. And so I came away and rested the eye for the day, and it was perfect. You know, the swelling was down and the eye was gashed. Now it happened again. And what happens is that you go into a space that has some dust, and a particle of dust can get into a little pore within your eyelid. And that triggers some, you know, the swelling, and it could make pus. So that was happening to me. And as that little eyelid, it did another one. And I was like, what? And I said, my goodness, I have to go and gash this thing. But I kept the warm rag, some hot water, you squeeze the rag and just put it there, squeeze it, put it there. And it bursted. And I got the pus out and was happy. But another one came. And what happened, if the bottom lid was infected and it burst and it touched the top lid, the tonsillet will pick up the infection and give you another sty. So it was like a roller coaster all the time. And at one time there was one, and I went back to the doctor, and he gasped it and he said, "You look, I'm looking at you with this microscope, and I am seeing some smaller ones, and you look so prone to this thing." Well, I said that was enough. I can't be going and paying all this money every time. That's not a resolution, okay? So let's get a hold of it. And I came home and I said, that's enough. And I did what God told me, put within my mind to do. And I took turmeric. Inflammation, turmeric is anti-inflammatory. I took turmeric, and I like the doctor, he said he was seeing little ones. Are they going to come up now and form a big one? I took the turmeric, put a little pinch of it into a small, tiny teacup, and let it settle. And the water could just be room temperature water, okay? It doesn't have to be warm water, just room temperature. Let the dust settle. And then I carefully put it to my eye to wash. And you blink, you open your eye a little bit, and you do both of them. Do you know that was it? It cured the situation. No little ones came up, and I did not get any more styes. Of course, work on the immune system now. Going to bed early, start eating on time, regular meals, and so forth. Get your exercise in. The immune system started to build up. Take some vitamin C's and that sort of thing. And the immune system came up, and I never had any of those things again. So there are these turmeric. So eye bright for certain situations, but turmeric can work phenomenally. Sometimes you'll see you wake up in the morning and you have a little mucus in the corner of your eye. Turmeric can help to clear that. And you can also use charcoal. Okay, so charcoal can help you there too. I think I might have done charcoal for that sty, and it wasn't as effective. Maybe I needed to do more or stronger, but the turmeric was just it. And that just cleared it up. Okay. See a question. Okay, someone is asking, what about washing the eye with sea salt and water? Some saline solution. Again, we gotta be careful. It's not too salty. Maybe that can help. I haven't had that experience. Question, will that also help with cataract? It might. Okay, so Pastor Chin is saying yes. He had one and mine went away. I'm not too sure if you're referring to the cataract or the sty.
Sty.
Oh, okay. All right. Wonderful. Thanks. All right. So Sister Ramin said she used sea salt and water, and that has helped her. Okay, wonderful. So there we get some more points. Can you use a fresh turmeric? Yes. You can certainly use the fresh turmeric. Of course, you'd need to boil it a little bit to get the extraction of its benefits, its properties. For the cataract, start with removing any form of dairy from the diet. Dairy, the sugar in the dairy tend to promote the growth of cataract. And we'll need to talk some more about other things to do with the cataract. Okay, so here is another pointer, golden seal. If you are not allergic to ragweed, and ragweeds are little plants that has some fiber here sticking out of them, like watermelon has them too, so echinacea. So if you're not allergic to any of those, golden seal can be helpful. It tends to reduce mucus discharge and inflammation in the body. And it also has antibacterial properties, and it is immune enhancing. We will want to use golden seal for 7 days at a time, and then you can take a break and you can always come back. Golden seal is like a natural antibiotic. and it's really helpful for allergic situations. Sometimes a cold sore can break out, and of course, that's a viral situation going on there, but golden seal helps with that. But for your mucus, again, you're working on the symptoms that you're seeing. And so to reduce mucus, clear inflammation, it's helpful. Milk thistle, again, it's a ragweed, and it helps to reduce allergic and inflammation and histamine increase in your system. So one of the things, as you find that allergens come to the body, histamine is going to be heightened, and then you get all of these other symptoms that's taking place. Milk thistle would support the liver, and a strong, good liver function will help us to have a great system for fighting off these allergens when they come to us, so that you don't have issues. So keeping the liver cleansed. The blood also needs to be kept cleansed with red clover. So if you're not allergic to aspirin, you can happily use red clover. It helps to build the body's resistance to allergies. Good, clean blood. Let's think about clean blood. You know, you can have dirty blood. Are we adding toxins to our bloodstream by what we put on our skin, what we inhale in our environment, or what we eat? And if so, let's seek to improve that kind of space environment around us, what on our diet, to promote clean blood. But red clover can help. As a tea, you can have 2 tablespoons of red clover tops, and you add that to 4 cups of water. Then you steep that for about 40 minutes. Just let it rest, soak, draw, steep, and you will strain and drink it during the day. You drink all of the 4 cups during the day. Nettle root and nettle leaves. This tends to be quite helpful, very helpful in allergic situations like sneezing, nasal congestion, itching, and coughs as well. Nettle leaves can help. Folks may have nettle leaves in their garden, in their backyards, and you can add that to your tea. Make a tea of it and drink it. At one time, I had a lady who asked me, what can I use for my cough? So I said, okay, look, some oregano oil, you can do that. I tried it. It didn't go away. I said, okay, let's see, what could we do? Let's try some golden seal. No, I tried it. It didn't go away. I was like, you possibly have an allergy and not a viral situation going on. Because the cough was long, like about 3 months. And I said, do you have nettle access? Yes. What about moringa? Yes. And there's 3 things: nettle, moringa, and peppermint. Do you have peppermint? That's good. She could get. And so she made a tea of nettle, peppermint, and moringa. And you can just take like a handful of these items and put it in a pot of hot water and get the water hot boiling. Then you switch it off, put those leaves in there, and you cover it and just let it draw. And you make a nice tea, and you can drink anywhere like about 4 cups of that during the day. And it helped clear away the situation. So it was not a viral issue. It was an allergy that manifested itself in this cough. And therefore, by using antihistamine leaves and so forth, it was able to help to alleviate the situation. Nettle capsules could also be used, 1 to 2 capsules every 2 to 4 hours in the acute stage, and that would help to relieve you at that time. So, and those capsules, you can also open them out and add some hot water to it to make a tea. Now, ginkgo tends to reduce allergies, even asthma and inflammation. Feverfew can be used for migraines and as well as allergies. So feverfew It's a plant. You can also get it in a capsule form. I've had individuals who have said that nothing else works for me for my migraine but feverfew. And so it's an item that works phenomenally. Now, astragalus, studies have found that astragalus helped reduce symptoms like runny nose, sneezing, itching in people with hay fever. And but do not take astragalus if you have an autoimmune condition, such as rheumatoid arthritis, Crohn's disease, and so on. So astragalus can be helpful. It really helps to increase your immune system. So if you have an already ramped up immune system, you don't want to ramp that up further. You want to be able to be kind to your body. But all those runny nose and so forth, astragalus, great. Just looking at birch. In some countries, situations, you have birch as a tree, and they give off these nice, pretty flowers, but the pollen in it can be problematic for some. So a study in 2011 found that patients diagnosed with birch pollen allergy found significant relief when they consumed birch pollen honey. Wow. And so they during the birch pollen season, if they took that honey, it helped to counter their allergic reactions. And you could use that, it reduced their symptoms by 60%. At least that was some help. Okay, so, and they used that. Now look at these eyes. Just looking at them would make your eye feel like it wants to water. All right, so red eyes, sore eyes, itchy eyes. You can take the cucumber slices and you put them on the eyes. They're quite cooling, and they help to reduce the swelling and the redness. Now you can splash your eyes with some cool water, and that can help to calm them down. And if there were any pollen that got into your eyes, it can help to wash that off. The activated charcoal can help with these itchy, red, sore eyes. Activated charcoal can help. And especially at night, if you did the activated charcoal wash, just a tiny pinch of activated charcoal powder in a little glass with water, and you bring it to the eyes, let the powder settle, and you bring it to the eyes carefully, and you can just wash the eye. If you did that at night before sleeping, and then you went and you slept afterward, it's going to just help to renew your eyes. You're going to feel it like brand new the following morning because your eyes was resting after you applied the activated charcoal on it. All right, and all that redness is going to go away. Turmeric can also help as an eye wash, and that can work too. Yes, putting some castor oil, a drop of castor oil over your eyes, and close down your eye and just rub it gently across can help to improve. Just last week, my eyes looked a bit red, and then I did the castor oil over my eyelids, and it cleared it all up. It cleared it up after the first night, and then just where the top eyelid met the lower one had a line of red that remained. But then I did it again the following night, and I've been doing it, and my entire eyes now, they both are clear, no redness with them. So there are times when you're staring too much, you're driving, and that breeze is blowing in your eyes, can give you these tired eyes, and there might be things that irritate you and you're not aware of because it doesn't happen all the time. But the castor oil can really be helpful there. Okay. See another question. What would you suggest, please? What brand? Oh, what brand of castor oil? I have one, I think it's Heritage. there's and also there's some others that you could look for, but like I said, depending where in the world you are, you can look for them that they say they are hexane free. So to really read your labels, hexane free and organic, that's what you want to look for. They would be really good to help. Okay. Now, oh, this is my nice little pretty picture of prevent asthma. So there's a juice here that you can use. Some people are allergic to bananas, okay? But if not, you have studies show that apples, kiwis, and bananas, when eaten daily, reduce respiratory infections and asthma. And that comes from a nice little book that I have here called Healthy Juices. So if you're seeing this, Healthy Juices, and it is written by Dr. George Pampalona Rogers. And so 1 medium banana, 1 kiwi, 1 cup of apple juice, or you can use the green apples, and a half cup of water, and you blend that together and until it's smooth, and then you can have your nice drink, your smoothie to drink. And this would not be good for individuals who are diabetic because it could be quite sweet and the concentration of juice as opposed to not having the fiber in it in sufficient amounts. But if you did this blend, I mean, it's an apple, it's a apple juice, it's a kiwi, it's a banana, and you got that for asthma type situations. Okay, and here's another one to clear mucus away. As for sinus, bronchitis, and respiratory infections, they will clear mucus and inflammation. So you want to get 4 medium radishes, 1 small onion, a half of a small onion, 1 inch of turmeric root, and 1 tablespoon of honey. So, oh my, they had pineapple, but I didn't want to mix my pineapple, so I substituted it for turmeric, and I didn't change this when I was typing it up. But so you gotta put your turmeric. Pineapple is anti-inflammatory too, but because of the onion and the radishes, that's a fruit and veggie mix. I don't want that. So let's use the turmeric root for the substitute. And I'll put this recipe in the chat for you, nice and clear. It would also be on the YouTube. And if you just look in the description part, it would be there. So your turmeric root, your onion, and your radish, and you could pass that through a juicer and really get a concentrate juice. And you add it, so it's not going to be too much, but you put it with some honey, and then you ingest that. You want to get like half glass 2 to 3 times a day. And you may have to add some coconut water to this or plain water to really get it, you know, reduce the concentration, but to get more fluid in. But as you drink this, it's going to help to clear away mucus. That radish tastes so peppery, and it's just going to probably get you blowing out your mucus. Your head is going to be happy for it. Say, wow, cleanup time. And you're going to see the relief and release of the congestion. That onion is going to help to break up mucus. I've had folks, when they eat onion, they start coughing up mucus in chunks, big yellow chunks, and really help to clear their system. And steaming. So we're almost at the end here, wrapping up. Steaming tends to break up congestion. So if you pineapple, there is where you might have gotten more of the juice. 2 large pineapple slices. If you wanted to, you can do pineapple. You can do pineapple with apple, you know, like what we had before. and that can work. You can do pineapple with turmeric. That would be excellent. 2 large pineapple juices, slices. Okay, so let's look at congestion. You've seen nasal congestion. What do? Start thinking about a steam, a vapor inhalation, where you get a bowl, you put some eucalyptus oil in there, or peppermint oil, not too much, just about a drop or two. And then you cover your head with a sheet, and you inhale hot water in that basin. And you can do that for 10 to 20 minutes inhaling. Folks may not be able to pass 10 minutes. That is okay, because inhaling all this hot air is not good for your brain. You don't want your brain to be hot. And then you can repeat it. 30 minutes later, you can repeat. But you will inhale. Doing the inhaler tends to relieve congestion in your nasal passageway, for all your sinuses in your face. And when you're through with that, splash some cold water on your face to close up your pores. All right, you can take a cold rag and then just rest it over, do some friction movement over, but you want to close up your pores afterward.
Can I ask a question on that? Good night.
Yes, good night.
Yes, I had sometimes it's my sinus, and it trigger off, like I notice, like when I wake up in the like to 2 every morning, it's not been bothering me for a couple of days, no, but I notice when I sleep and I wake up, like during the before day, like to 2, 3 o'clock, then I start feel like some little stinging in my nose, and I start noticing, then I feel like something start draining, then I started like a sneezing, like even 3 times behind one another, and when I start sneezing like that, there comes, I mean, actually for the whole day. And I try to do like steaming with a little eucalyptus oil, and I might find a release, but I notice and like it drain inside my stomach, and I try to, it's like it give my chest a different feelings, but I know it's draining, because sometimes I feel it slide, like it just slide down in my throat, and it's clear. It is very clear like water.
Okay, so something is moving from your head and trying to make its way out of the body. Have you made any change? How long has this been happening to you?
It's been happening to me for being on and off for years now. And sometimes my stomach feel weird, and like sometimes it feel like I want to throw up, vomit, you know. But I pray and I pray and I pray, and the Lord helped me through it. But I haven't been feeling it for almost over 3 weeks now. I haven't. But normally, like in the before this, so I said, Lord, what is this? I notice every time I wake up at that time to study my Bible and to pray, it's like it just trigger off. And sometimes when I sneeze, it's like it make my chest, like my chest just feel away.
Okay. So over the past 3 weeks, have you made any change to your diet or clean the home or anything different?
Well, I don't eat meat. I don't eat flesh meat. I've been on my vegetable and like veggie chunk and peas and bean soup, and I don't drink like acidic juice. I try to drink as much water.
No sugar?
I use the sugar, and whenever time I use the sugar, as I taste the sugar, it's make my body feel totally. I feel my body feel totally different, and I used to like sweet a lot, but then start studying about the health and so forth in this Bible studying class, I realized what a lot of thing has done to our body. So I try to avoid a lot of stuff and just try to eat like my vegetable and avoid. I eat rice and I try to avoid it, but like most likely I want try to eat like pumpkin, sweet potato, pumpkin sweet potato and like that's it. But I eat rice
Well,
some.
sounds like you're beginning to make some changes, and that's really good. I see my friend there in the chat is suggesting, do you use ketchup? What about, because, and what time is your last meal on evenings?
You talking to me or someone else?
No, I'm speaking to you. What time is your last meal?
I used to eat like in late hours, but I started having my meal the earliest time of day, like I eat my dinner like 3 o'clock after two them time there, or sometimes if I eat I like a heavy little meal, not much. In the morning, I normally like before 5 o'clock, or I had like maybe a cup of tea or something light. So I'm trying to pull back. I'm trying to pull back on a lot of stuff and the hours that I eat, you know?
Wonderful. I'm really proud of you because you have explained to us something that used to happen, something that you are seeing that it hasn't been happening in the past 3 weeks. I'll say continue as you learn to implement. God is blessing you and will bring you totally, to experience health in its total state. Because you have been for, you mentioned that you've been gone to make some changes. So keep doing that. Watch the seasoning. Do you use ketchup in the preparation of your food?
I used to use ketchup, but like something telling me do not use that. I use like my seasoning them is natural season. I use like my onion, my excuse me a minute. Just a second. Go get the key. Here. Sorry. Yes, miss. So I use like onion. I used to use tomato. I stopped using tomato because when I having like the stomach, I went to the doctor to check. He was saying that I have gas and acid reflux and all of that, and he tell me I can eat vegetable and vegetable, but don't use no acidity. He tell me a lot of things. So, but before that, I tried to cut back. I tried. I finished talk with you before you close off. Okay.
All right,
Someone is
wonderful. Okay, so good. I think you're gone, right? You come back. Okay, yeah, we will help her along. Okay, so she's gonna come back in the Q&A session. Let's just complete here. A charcoal poultice can really be helpful to ant stings, bee stings, mosquito bites, any trigger bites, poison ivy. Charcoal works phenomenally as you just mix a little charcoal powder and water, put it on those stung areas, and it's going to be helpful. You can also, if you wanted to do a bigger poultice because of, a more severe area of the body that's concentrated with an issue, you can do the charcoal, add some ground flaxseed to that, and add water to make a gel-like paste. It comes out like a jelly, and you apply it to the affected area. And here we go for a nasal irrigation. And here your sinuses can do with a good flush. If you are exposed to pollen and you have inhaled pollen and other irritants, you can just, as you see in the picture, flush your nostrils. A half teaspoon of salt, add that to water, about 8 ounces of water. And that would be room temperature water, and you mix that around together, and you're able to put that like in a neti pot in one nostril, it comes through the next, And then you just like blow clear your nostrils, and that can help to keep your sinuses clear. And the sinuses are like these little inner cavity area spaces behind your cheeks, right above your eyebrow area there. And they can be congested with mucus or an irritant. And so cleansing them is helpful. And if nasal irritation results in a gagging or air pain, it is likely that it is done too vigorously. So we need to take our time when we're doing this nasal irrigation.
Dr. Nash,
Yes.
when using the water, they need to use bottled water, not tap water.
Okay. All right. Someone, you're afraid of drowning? Well, we have an expert in the house, Sister Raman, and we got a captured video of her. So I'm going to show you that right now. And Sister Raman is going to demonstrate to us how you do a nasal irrigation.
Good evening. My name is Olive Rami, and I'm coming to you from the Pure Wellness Lifestyle Center in Trinidad and Tobago, where this place is a utopia. If you need a vacation, if you really need a real vacation, you need to come and visit this place. This is like a utopia. This evening, I will be demonstrating to you how to use a neti pot. The neti pot is used to clean your sinuses out. And so here's the neti pot. And this is like a little teapot with a spout. And to use it, you scald it off before you use it, each time before you put it into your nose. You will also need a teaspoon of sea salt. And you will also need 16 ounces of distilled water. Or if you have well water, you can use well water as well. This is usually done over your face bowl, but tonight for the demonstration, I'll be using this bowl, okay? And before I do the demonstration, I'd just like to share with you when I was a little girl on the island, my mom used to send us out into the sea to snuff the salt water when we had a cold, and it used to clear it right up. Okay, this is the equivalent to snuffing the salt water. So to begin, just let's imagine that the neti pot has been scalded off. And this is I'm gonna now put the teaspoon of salt into the water, and you just stir it. Just stir it a little bit, make sure it's dissolved. And to begin, you pour a half of it into the neti, half of the water into the neti pot. There. Let me put a little more. Okay. And so to do the flushing, you stick the point of the neti pot into either side of your nose. And you tilt your head to the side and drop your mouth open. And you just tilt the neti pot out. The water goes up and comes down through the other side. After you're finished doing that on one side, you just blow. You do not hold your nose, you just blow. You'll be amazed to see how much mucus will come out of your nostril. Okay, so now we're gonna rinse it off again. And we're going to repeat what we just did on that side. We're gonna repeat it on the other side. Okay? Here we go. Oh my God, you're so funny. Okay. And that's all you need to do. And you will feel so good. Now, whatever water you have left over, here's another thing you can gargle with it. It helps your throat. Okay, another thing you can do with it. You can take it and you can wash your eyes. When we were little. There you go. And you just rinse it off again. And you do the other eye. When we were little, we used to dive under the sea and swim under the sea with our eyes open. There you go. And that's it. That's all you need to do. Your eye would feel good, your sinuses would feel good, and this keeps you from having colds and runny nose. If you feel your nose running, run right away and get your neti pot. To avoid myself from coming down with colds, I don't get colds. To avoid myself from doing that, I flush with this at least 3 times a week. I do this flushing. And you feel good, and your eyes, you can see better and everything. So this is a very healthy procedure, and all you have to do is do it the proper way, and you'll be fine. And it keeps all that bacteria that you inhale during the day. If I inhale any dust or anything, I make sure I run and I flush. I use an antipop and I flush. And I've been doing this for years. I initially started doing it when I had a terrible sinus condition. And the doctors couldn't find out what was wrong. And I did a research on it and it said to use an antipop. And I've been using it ever since. And the problem was that I was having a running, some kind of bleeding from my nose. And once I used the neti pot and I flushed 3 times, something huge, just a big chunk just came out of my nose. And something gushed out, and from that day to this, I have not had this problem. So I can testify to anyone that the neti pot works. Here again is the neti pot, it's like a little teapot, and when you finish using it, you rinse it out with vinegar and water. Do not put any soap detergents in this neti pot. Just use the vinegar and water and rinse it out. And just dry it and make sure you keep it covered that no dust get on it. And that brings an end to my demonstrations this evening. God bless.
Wonderful. Okay.
Okay, someone asked the question if you can use warm water. No, you need to use tepid water. Only tepid water. And in lieu of using the distilled water, you can use the bottled water as well as the distilled water.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And thank you so much. Sister Ramin was able to do that when she visited us here at the center. We got to record her being an avid user of the neti pot for nasal irrigation. And as you heard, it helped to clear sinuses away. And you could understandably see that any pollen or dust or anything that we might inhale, the nostrils, the little here, structures in the nostril, the little mucus around it tends to trap and protect us from getting too much of those things into our system. With this wash and cleanse in the nighttime can be a great way of getting it all out. Did you book again? Okay, yeah, I'll do that. All right, so thank you very much for your presentation. I'm gonna for your presence. I'm gonna be putting this link here in the chat just for general reading as a site that sort of supports for allergic situations. And yes, hi.
Okay. I had so much to ask about some stuff, but I don't want to take up the time. You don't mind if you give me your number? I
Right,
could
you
ask,
talked to us earlier.
hello?
You were the lady who was speaking to us a short while ago with a
Yes,
question.
I'm Sister Brown. I'm Sister Jennifer Brown.
Okay, so yes, hi, Sister Brown. So you can contact me. And one of the things that was mentioned earlier, about the use of chunks, the soya chunk soy, that's one item that I ask individuals to back away from their diet, because I see a lot of issues around the consumption of the soy chunks or soy mince. Most times it may not be organic. It can very well be genetically modified, and folks are having problems. And so once you remove it from the diet, a lot of the problematic situation and its varied problems, issues, it tends to go away once they remove that from the diet. So removing that, as well as watching the condiments, not cooking with things like that has vinegar in it, the ketchup, the salad dressings, all of those would need to be removed. You know, if I ate food from someone, they prepare beans and they put ketchup in that, I would leave and go away. And soon after, you know, within less than 30 minutes, I can sense that I'll need to clear my throat. There's a film of mucus that builds up, and I'll be like, you know, to clear that throat. Because I am so not used to it that I recognize that as I consume something is in that food and in the seasoning in that food that didn't work well with me. And a lot of times it is the ketchup or any item that has the vinegar in it. So just mentioned that. We will go into talking more about food, but we've come to the end of our session this evening. And yes, my dear sister, you can contact me directly and we can have a conversation going to see exactly what's going on with you so that we can help you better. And
Dr. Nash,
yeah,
Thank you.
Dr. Nash, someone is asking if you can use any other salt, rather than use the sea salt. The answer is no.
Okay. Right.
Sister, I want to give you my number. I don't know how to get in there and the contacting to. You want to take my number?
All right, just 1 second. Let me just end the recording. I'll take it in a little while from you. Okay, I'll tell you when. All right, so folks, we just want to pray to close out the session, and then we'll have our chat. And some of you asked to see the slide again with the juice. I'll show it shortly. Let's pray. Heavenly Father, we give you thanks for our session today, and we ask for your continued blessing on each listener, so that your name can be glorified, and you can manifest your blessing in their lives as they adhere to these natural remedies and to the laws of health that governs their bodies, that they would be well. This is our prayer in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen.